So good morning, everybody. This is Bill, K4NYM, and I'm out here activating a park this morning with the four-wave antenna, and I want to show you some, I would call them hacks that I have done to make this antenna a lot easier to use. So first of all, when you get the antenna from 4-wave, it's going to come with a 9-to-1 un-un. The 9-to-1 un-un is going to allow you to tune, depending on whether you're running radials, anywhere from 80 meters to 10 meters. But there's some hacks you need to do to really have effective communications on 80 and 60 meters. I'll get to that in a moment. But what I did is I also added a 1-to-1 balun as opposed to a 9-to-1 un-un. And you'll see that I hooked it up here to a cable tie, which I put around, and I'll explain to you all these cable ties in a second. And the 1-to-1, the 4-wave antenna, the wire itself is nearly resident on 40 meters. And because of that, the 1-to-1 un-un really just provides a feed point for the resonant length of the antenna. And then when you work that with your tuner, whether you use an internal tuner in your radio or you're using an external tuner, you should be able to get this to tune on 40 meters, 30 meters, 20 meters, possibly 17. You may get 80 and 60 out of it, but that's going to be a little bit of a stretch. And so that's what the 1-to-1 does for you. So when I activate in the morning, I don't get on the higher bands very often. I'm usually down in the lower bands. So especially on 40, 30, and 20 meters, the 1-to-1 is a lot better than the 9-to-1 un-un. Now, the cable ties. When you look inside the 4-wave antenna, excuse this Harbor Freight silicone tie there. When you look down in here, you're going to see those machine screws. Those machine screws get loose. They just do. It's inherent to the antenna, vibration. I'm sure the guys and the gals at 4-wave are working on this, but they get loose. And you're constantly having to tighten down these conduit clamps here. Well, the problem is you got to take the mast off in order to get in there to tighten it up, and that's a pain in the neck. So I took these 24-inch cable ties I got from Harbor Freight. Harbor Freight, guys. I don't work for them, and I'm not getting any money from them. But anyway, Harbor Freight. So I took these 24-inch cable ties and I just, tighten them up as much as possible to the mast. To the hitch. And guess what? This thing isn't moving. And even if these things get a little bit loose, I'm not noticing it because the cable ties are jury rigging it for me. So cable ties, Harbor Freight. Did I say Harbor Freight? I'll say it again a couple more times. So anyway, there's your 1-to-1 for 40 meters, 30 meters, 20 meters. And of course you got your 9-to-1 if you just want to make it easy and go all the way from 80 meters to 10. I'm going to make another video here in a second showing you how I operate on 80 and 60 meters a lot more efficiently. Okay, so let me show you the little hack that I've done for 80 meters and 60 meters. Is I made this 2.5-foot stinger. It's just 16 gauge silicone wire to an alligator clip, and I hook it up to the ring connector here, which is conductive with the antenna. And what that allows it to do is when I'm using the 9-to-1 un-un, it lengthens the antenna from close to 33 feet to over 35 feet. And that's important because the resonant length, well, the antenna is resonant almost on 40 meters, which means the 9-to-1 un-un has to throw the antenna out of resonance in order for your tuner to tune it. Sounds a little confusing. But when you add an extra length and you get the antenna away from the resonance of 40 meters, the 9-to-1 un-un is able to work better. It's more efficient with the tuner, and it also allows it to tune better on 80 meters and 60 meters. So that's something you may want to try, but make sure that your tip here, which is conductive on the 4-wave antenna, that you're using a conductive clip, the alligator clip, so it's electrically connected to the antenna. This is K4NYM and POTA on.